Good evening. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Carolina Panthers Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I am your host, the Ring Game Magician, the Bachata Dragon, the Blitzball Champ, Jason Ingram. Just want to make a quick video. Wanted to talk about the newest signing from the Carolina Panthers. They added another piece on defense. And I'm going to take a look at this mock draft 6.0 report from CarolinaPanthers.com website and pretty much just give my thoughts on that. Before we get started, be sure to check out the link in the description for Game Beauty for an awesome lineup of video game themed makeup and cosmetic products. And if you see something you like and want to make a purchase, be sure to use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps. You can get 10% off of your order. Nice little discount. Use it. Cool? Cool. Okay. Carolina Panthers picked up another piece on the defense up front by signing Mr. John Penisini, who's a nose tackle. Let's see. John Penisini, 6'2", 335 pounds, played at Utah. Okay. He actually has the same birthday as me, May 31st. Nice. Hey. Was a 6th round pick in the 2020 draft. Got drafted by the Lions, started 12 games as a rookie, had a sack on P.J. Walker against the Panthers in 2020. 2020, that's the game that we actually shut out the Lions. Played 16 games in 2021, but retired last summer after dealing with some shoulder issues. But he has now come out of retirement and signed with the Carolina Panthers. And of course, another big man, I guess that's gonna, perhaps be in the rotation, under this 3-4 defense. I mean, after all, we ended up getting Shai Tuttle and Deshaun Williams. So some big bodies there. We also picked up Henry Anderson. They say Penisini gives them the girth they're looking for in a proper nose tackle as they adjust the defensive scheme. And it's another depth piece. They also mention how they are doing the start of voluntary off-season program. A lot of folks are doing their workouts and stuff like that. I remember seeing a clip of Dante Jackson and J.C. Horn. So I thought that was pretty cool. Austin Corbett as well. But another big body. Not a whole lot of stats listed for him. But 46 tackles, a sack, a fumble recovery, and a pass deflection. But he's a young guy, 25 years old. Hopefully he will have overcame the shoulder issues. Here's hoping. But we'll see what happens. This looks like another depth piece, another depth signing. So, they got to be able to have some big bodies up on the line, especially as they're switching to 3-4. And hopefully it works out. I'm not really a big fan of 3-4, but if they got the personnel for it and they can run it successfully, then so be it. That's all I can really say. But he's come out of retirement. Let's see how this John Penisini does. At least he's a young guy. Hopefully he'll grow and give him an excuse to, regret retiring in the first place. But we'll see. Okay. Carolina Panthers also posted the mock draft report 6.0. And kind of a interesting list. New set of members, but interesting list. So let's go through what these guys have to say. Let me get a Sunkist orange soda. Who loves orange soda? Blitzball champ loves orange soda. Is it true? I do. Kel from Keenan and Kel. Gotta love it. Anyway, starting with Adam Rank, he is going Bryce Young, quarterback Bryce Young. He says, love your aggressiveness in trading up to get the number 1 overall pick from Chicago. And I write that not just as a Bears fan who is happy my team landed DJ Moore in the deal, but as a fan of the sport. Oh, Adam Rank is a Bears fan. Huh, go figure. Locking in your franchise quarterback is life-changing. I'm recommending Young here because I don't think his much-discussed size will be an issue. As a former 5-star recruit and Heisman Trophy winner, he's transcended this shortcoming at every level. Heisman Trophy winner. That is true. That is true. Some folks forget that. But Adam Rank is going Bryce Young. Todd McShay is going C.J. Stroud. He says, we know the Panthers are drafting a quarterback. They have been searching for a long-term fix and sent a big bag of assets to Chicago to jump up here in order to find it. But we still don't know for sure which quarterback they want. We might not have the answer until the pick is announced. And I'm not sure Carolina even knows just yet. I projected Alabama's Bryce Young here in my last mock draft, but I'm going with Stroud this time around. It could really go either way. Which is fair. Which is definitely fair. Ryan Wilson is also going Bryce Young. He says Young came in at 5'10" and an eighth and weighed 204 pounds at the combine and didn't take part in the drills, but had a great pro day several weeks later. The word on the street is that the Panthers are higher on C.J. Stroud than Young, but there's still 2+ weeks to go until we all know for certain. New coach Frank Reich has talked about the importance of size at the position, but Young is the most NFL-ready quarterback on the board. Ooh. So Mr. Wilson believes Bryce Young is the most NFL-ready quarterback. Something to keep in mind. Now we got a little change of scenery here as Sam Monson is going Anthony Richardson with that first overall pick. He says Richardson's elite athleticism and rushing threat give him a very high floor and enough breathing room to improve as a passer, specifically to fix his accuracy. He actually works through progressions and reads defenses well. He just can't reliably connect with his target. If my coaching staff thinks that's fixable, Richardson is the biggest potential home run. If the coaching staff thinks that's fixable, that remains to be seen. Nick Baumgartner is going C.J. Stroud. He says, don't rule out the possibility Anthony Richardson goes number 1. Given that new Carolina head coach Frank Reich would be terrific at developing the young quarterback. Stroud would be an awesome fit with Reich too. Stroud also has plenty of work in front of him, just not as much as Richardson. Interesting. Very interesting assessment. Jack McKessie is going C.J. Stroud. He says the Panthers have needed stability at the quarterback position for years now. This year, they decided it was so important that they traded up to the number 1 overall pick. CJ Stroud has been the favorite or co-favorite to be the first player selected in the 2023 NFL Draft since the Panthers moved up, and for good reason. If you look back at his track record, new head coach Frank Reich likes his big, tall, pocket-passing quarterbacks. That's what Stroud is. And that's why Carolina takes him first overall. Fair. Very, very fair. And then, finally, Sam Farmer is going Anthony Richardson. He says there are more polished and NFL-ready quarterbacks, but none can match Richardson's athleticism and upside. And there you have it. Now, looking at this, so a good mix between CJ Stroud and Bryce Young with a little bit of Anthony Richardson. So, looking at this and really thinking about it, it sounds to me, y'all, that this is going to come down between Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richardson. I think pretty much Will Levis is out. So I don't think we have to really think about Will Levis anymore in the discussion for Carolina's first round pick. So if we want to go by process of elimination, Will Levis is pretty much out of the picture. I mean, we have to trust that Carolina's done their due diligence with him and at least has gotten to look at him, gotten to spend time with him. But it looks like Will Levis is just, that ain't happening for Carolina. So, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. Like I said before, I would be fine with either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. You know, CJ Stroud, I feel like definitely fits the bill of what Frank Reich is looking for, based on what he's said. CJ Stroud has that size, had an incredible pro day as well. Bryce Young, I mean, some good credentials there, a Heisman Trophy winner. Many say that he's NFL ready, and that could be the case. Size could definitely play into a factor, and that's a risk. That is a risk. It's not the end-all, be-all risk. I mean, after all, look at Cam Newton. Dude was much bigger, and we saw how badly he got hurt. So, I mean, I get the whole size argument, but it's going to be a risk either way. And if his play makes up for his size, I mean, we can't look down at that. If his play ends up making up for his size, then, I mean, the size ends up being a minor thing. You know, I'm just saying. Now, as far as Anthony Richardson, because there's been a lot of praise for Anthony Richardson. But as I said before, I feel like whoever grabs him has to be willing to be very, very patient and willing to endure whatever it's got to take for him to go through the growing pains and eventually get better. And I think with Anthony Richardson, this could end up being the quarterback that's either going to royally suck, or he's going to royally blow up. That's the feeling that I have about Anthony Richardson. And I'm not saying that the other two quarterbacks this can't happen to, but just a lot of what I'm hearing, I just have a feeling that Anthony Richardson is going to just end up being a big old bust, or he's gonna blow up and be the best out of this bunch. As crazy as that may sound to some people, but just there's a reason why many have given him the praise that he's gotten. You know, that's all I'm saying to that. That's all I'm saying to that. I'm not saying that he's the guy, but he could end up being the guy. I'm not saying that the other two won't be successful. I believe they will. I hope they will. But there's a reason why we keep here and there hearing Anthony Richardson's name thrown into the mix. And I do believe he's going to end up getting picked in the first round anyway. So when it comes to Carolina, it just really comes down to which one do you really, really want the most and really want to invest in no matter what. Because either of these three quarterbacks, there's going to be a risk. It just really comes down to which one is, I guess, more or less of a risk than the rest. Maybe it's C.J. Stroud. Maybe it's Bryce Young. Maybe it's Anthony Richardson. I don't know. But I got a feeling it's going to end up being one of these three quarterbacks that Carolina goes for with that first round pick. But we'll see. We're only into the second week of April, so we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. We got a little ways to go, but the draft will be here before you know it. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say. Don't forget to check out the link to Game Beauty, as well as the links I put in the description for the articles we discussed. Pardon me. But let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What do y'all think of the newest signing, John Penisini, nose tackle, coming out of retirement, joining the Carolina Panthers? What do y'all think about that move? And also, what do you think about the mock draft report 6.0? Still see a good bit of C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, but we're starting to see some Anthony Richardson in the picture. And it looks like Will Levis might be out of the picture for the running for that number one pick. But we'll see what happens. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Carolina Panthers talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed evening, and I will see y'all in the next video. Take care. Peace.